Welcome to another video here on P2P Empower. So on this channel, we cover a variety of topics around P2P lending, and recently I also have investigated a couple of crypto lending platforms. And while this specific niche can be quite risky from many perspectives, there is one platform caught my attention, so I went down the rabbit hole to learn more about it. In this video, I will share my findings as well as some of the features which I would love to see on, let's say, more traditional platforms where you still lend fiat money rather than cryptocurrencies. Today, you will learn more about Celsius Network, which is one of the leading crypto lending platforms in the world. I'm your host Jakub from P2P Empower, and if your goal is to become a more educated P2P investor, consider subscribing and also hit the like button to see more videos like this in the future. So if you have watched our previous video about Celsius versus BlockFi, you kind of have an idea about the main differences and some of the functionalities of Celsius Network. In this video, we'll be diving a bit deeper into Celsius Network and also talk about things that you should be aware of before depositing your crypto on this platform. So the main idea of Celsius Network is that you deposit your cryptocurrency and Celsius will lend it to borrowers in exchange for interest. Celsius currently supports 45 different assets, and when you deposit your crypto, Celsius will pay you an interest rate for it. Every coin offers different yields based on the current market conditions. Celsius also changes the interest rate every week, which means that you cannot really predict what will be your long-term return. The typical use case for Celsius is the following. If you leave your crypto on the exchange, you do not earn anything from it, which is why many investors are shifting funds to crypto lending platforms like Celsius, where the security is pretty much the same, but you can earn a yield on your coins. As soon as you deposit your crypto, Celsius will deploy it, which means that they will lend it to other borrowers or even crypto exchanges as long as the borrower is able to provide collateral, which again is cryptocurrency. What's worth mentioning is that the collateral is always at least twice the value of the loan amount. Now, you might be wondering, why would someone deposit crypto as collateral and take a loan? Well, the benefit for the borrower is quite straightforward actually. If you, for instance, want to buy a Tesla with your crypto, you can liquidate your coin and buy the car. Well, in this case, particularly, you don't actually need to exchange your crypto to fiat, as you can pay for it with your Bitcoin already. However, for the sake of this example, let's just stick to it. As soon as you spend your money on Tesla though, you will no longer benefit from the potential growth of the value of your coin. Teslas typically also don't increase their value over time, right? So another option is to say, here's my coin as collateral and let's get a cheap loan, cover the cost of the Tesla. That way, you pay lower single-digit interest rates for a loan, while the value of your coin can still increase. If you expect the cryptocurrency to go up in value over the next couple of years, this is certainly an incredibly good deal. So basically, if you have crypto, you can leverage and get a cheap loan without any other questions straight from the Celsius app. Celsius has currently over 580,000 members, and the platform is managing more than $14 billion in assets. This is quite impressive considering the Celsius network was launched just in 2018. In order to get there, the platform led by serial entrepreneur Alex Mashinsky has also raised $70 million. So that's certainly worth mentioning as well. By the way, an interesting fact is that Celsius Network faced really similar issues with the devaluation of funding right after the token generation event, like Debitum Network, which has also launched a utility token but has not gone as far with it like Celsius Network. We have also covered this topic already in our interview with the founder of Debitum Network, so it's just an interesting fact that Debitum was not the only platform that faced this issue as well. So now you have basically an idea of how Celsius works. You use your app to deposit your crypto, Celsius deploys it, which means that they lend it to others in exchange for collateral and interest. A pretty good deal, right? You can either deposit your crypto from your hardware wallet, from your exchange, or buy it directly from the app. Any deposit will, however, cost you transaction fees. Especially if you're depositing your coins that run on the Ethereum network, you will have to pay a hefty gas fee, which means that any smaller deposits does not really make a sense, and it will take a couple of months to earn back the fee from the interest that Celsius is paying out. I will not go too much into details here, as we have covered this process already in our comparison between Celsius and BlockFi. You should know that while Celsius does not directly charge charge your fees to deposit your coins on the Celsius wallet. Their partners who allow you to buy crypto with the credit card do charge fees, and there is also going to be a transaction fee if you deposit your crypto from different wallet, for instance. You will also pay the transaction fee if you withdraw your funds back to your hardware wallet at some point in the future. So that's certainly also something that you should pay good attention to. On a positive note, Celsius allows you unlimited free withdrawals, and there are also no minimum deposit amounts, which is really user-friendly as most of the competitors charge fees for withdrawing your coin or have certain limits on deposits. Now, you might be wondering, how much do you make by depositing your coins on Celsius? Well, as mentioned, it always comes down to the rates that the platform is offering for your coins. You can always navigate to celsius.network/rates to see how much you are being paid for your coins. Right now, for example, you will earn an annual yield of 3.51% on your Bitcoin or 5.05% on your Ethereum. What's worth mentioning is that the interest is being paid out weekly, and if you decide to pay out the interest in CEL tokens, which is a utility token from Celsius network, the rates are even slightly higher. Now, because Celsius is always aiming to follow all laws and regulations, users from the United States might enjoy slightly different rates as they are not able to receive rewards in CEL tokens. What's worth mentioning is also that by default, you will earn interest in the CEL token. If you want to earn interest in the currency that you have deposited, you need to change the settings in your mobile app. So by now, you know that Celsius is not charging you any fees, but there are fees that you will have to pay for the transaction to and from your Celsius wallet. You also have a rough idea of how much you will yield per year and how often the interest is being paid out to your account. So what else should you be aware of when lending your crypto on Celsius? Well, with any platform, I highly encourage you to read the terms and conditions to fully understand your rights. I know that many of the investors do not read the fine print, but there are at least two main factors that you should pay good attention to when depositing your crypto on Celsius or any other crypto lending platform. First, you should read the terms disclosure. Every legitimate platform has one. Celsius is very clear about the fact that your Celsius wallet is not a checking or savings account. Your crypto on the platform is not covered by any insurance. In fact, your crypto is not even yours anymore, and Celsius may lend, sell, pledge, hypothecate, assign, or invest it as they wish. Celsius, like any other crypto lending platform, is deploying your assets to generate income, right? So technically, as soon as you deposit your cryptocurrency on Celsius, it is not yours anymore. You basically grant Celsius the ownership rights to hold your coins in Celsius' own virtual wallet or elsewhere. This is not something many people realize when they lend their crypto. Some people even talk about Celsius like it's a bank, which is just wrong because Celsius does not have a banking license. Celsius seems to be a legit platform, and after I read all the terms and conditions, I haven't really spotted any potential red flags like on many other crypto lending platforms. Celsius offers two-factor authentication, biometric scan for their app, or the HODL mode, which is a security feature that gives you the ability to temporarily disable outgoing transactions. In addition to that, you can also set up dedicated withdrawal addresses. So in the situation where your account is compromised, the attacker could not withdraw your coins. So yes, Celsius is safe. Also, the platform has not been hacked so far, which is quite positive, as many of the competitors like BlockFi or uHodler faced data leaks in the past. What you should know though is that by depositing your coins on Celsius, you give away your ownership, and Celsius can do pretty much anything with it. Obviously, the goal is to use your crypto to generate further income, which is being distributed back to the community. That's actually the platform's business model, to give 80% of the profits back to the users and retain 20% to support the growth. According to the latest AMA session, the CEO has pointed out that Celsius has 5 different income streams which allow the platform to not lose money when they lend it to borrowers. In fact, when the borrower borrows money from Celsius, he or she needs to deposit collateral, which is either twice or up to 4 times the value of the loan amount. Celsius uses this pledge and deploys it so it can generate income. This is called rehypothecation, and Celsius does not share how they do it, as they claim it's their competitive advantage. As this technique is quite unclear, it is one of the counterparty risks which you cannot really minimize. Celsius claims to create an average annual yield of 5 to 6%. Obviously, this is not done just by lending money to retail borrowers. The platform also lends money to crypto exchanges and other institutions. The platform is not as transparent when it comes to sharing the income streams, and I can think only of 4 actually. They make money by lending to the borrowers, by deploying the collateral, by lending to institutions and crypto exchanges, and they also make money with their CEL token, which is basically a utility token that can be used within the Celsius network. On the platform, the token allows you to earn higher interest rates on your crypto, and you can also benefit from the increase of the value of the CEL token, which has been very impressive over the past few weeks. You can also trade the token on various crypto exchanges like Bittrex, Uniswap, and many others. While Celsius is primarily a mobile app, they have just released a web application, so you can now use Celsius also from your computer, which I think many users will appreciate. What Celsius is working on right now is also the proof of community, which is a feature that will put all the transactions of the network on the blockchain, so you can verify the transactions history, which cannot be changed. This is a decentralized approach, which I really like, as this reduces the risk of the platform tampering with your data. Basically, the data is not pulled from the database anymore, but from the blockchain, and they cannot add or delete numbers as they wish. This is really a great feature that increases the safety of your deposits. It is basically a similar approach of displaying transactions as applied by companies that have the electronic money institution license, something I have recently talked about with the founder of NeoFinance, which is a Lithuanian peer-to-peer lending platform. So to wrap this up, I think Celsius has an interesting product for many crypto hodlers who typically store their crypto on the exchange. If you're one of them, you might as well put it on Celsius network and get a yield for it. By using our link in the description, you can even get $40 worth of Bitcoin after you deposit $400 or more over the next 30 days. If you do not hodl on the exchange, but store your crypto on your hardware wallet, like this one, for example, which is one of my preferred wallets from Trezor, lending your crypto on Celsius will likely be not the best fit for you, as your primary goal will be to be the owner of your coins and benefit from the long-term growth of your cryptocurrencies. So this has been a bit of a different review as usual, with a slightly different angle as well. I thought that it could be quite interesting to talk about this platform as well, since it is one of the fastest growing crypto lending platforms today, and you might at some point think about using it. Now you at least know what to expect. If you want to learn more about Celsius, you can also read our review on P2P Empire. You will find the link to it in the description below. As always, if you found this video helpful, leave it a like. I know that some of you have been investing on Celsius for a while, so if you want to share your experience, feel free to add them in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.